Hello and welcome, everybody. So, hope everybody's doing fine out there in beautiful cyberspace land. Uh, for those who are just joining me, my name is Mary June Tracy, and I am a spiritual love of life coach and an astrologer, bringing you the 411 of the Cosmic Highway. Thank you for everybody for joining me, and thank you for everyone on Facebook, the Guru Mama Facebook, and YouTube. And if you are on the YouTube or you haven't been on YouTube, please like and subscribe and share it out. As I've always, as I've been saying, my goal, I want to reach the 1,000 mark. I mean, I don't get anything for the 1,000 mark from YouTube or anybody else, but it also helps to profile your YouTube page, because for me, this is my job, and I want to be able to spread more of the crazy info, my crazy info to the world, to bring in more of the craziness out into the world. That's my job. I want to bring in more cray. If that is possible, I don't know if that's possible or not. So just saying, it's just like crazy. Well, welcome, because there's a new moon that's going to be forming. The moon is still in Capricorn, and it is out of bounds, so it's kind of rogue, so things might be going a little bit quickly for you. Things might be going a little bit nutty for you because of that. The moon will be full tonight at around, I think, 7:33 or something like that this evening. So that's when the moon will be into its fullness. And if you are wanting to join me, I didn't correct that. I should correct that. Is tonight. Gonna hide that. It's not tomorrow. It is tonight. Whoops. So we're gonna do tonight is the spiritual full moon dance. And if you are wanting to join me, please, let me know. It's I'm playing with all these things. Okay. And I want to show that. And I don't know why that is not showing now that I've done that. Okay. So it's tonight. What? That's just weird. What did it do? I don't know what it did. Anyways, there you go. The Guru Mama Spiritual. And I will look at that later. Hold on. Edit. I did something. Scroll across the bottom, and I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go like that. And there we go. I got it. Yes. Sorry. Technical difficulties as I'm playing with things, but it's tonight. I didn't want people to see that it's tomorrow when it is this evening. So this evening, and it's going to be on Zoom. It's not going to be recorded. I'm not recording this at all. So please, join me. And it is a $10 exchange. So that $10 is basically, part of my coffee fund. my coffee fund that I try and keep going. And lipstick on both sides, that bothers me. I don't like lipstick on both sides of my cup. But anyways, a couple things that I want to talk about, and I did this morning when I was in doing my meditation. It was kind of weird. This morning with the meditation, I was talking about the divine feminine and the energies of the divine feminine. And it's been something that's been really on my mind for quite some time. But a lot of things were coming up for me, and identification of the divine feminine, what the divine feminine means, and what it is for me. And this is my thoughts on the embodying of the sacred feminine. And I believe what I see or watch within our society today, that somehow the divine feminine and the divine masculine are, and especially the divine masculine, is being demasculated. So, excuse me. In other words, that they're taking away, the power from the masculine, saying that it's too rough, too abrupt, too this, too that. And they're trying to down the masculine into something that it's not. And this energy, or this divine feminine that's coming in, or the sacred feminine, is a portal. It's a magical portal. Like, there's magical portable times. Like, this energy is these timelines. Like, I've been seeing these different timelines. Some are collapsing, and the spiraling around is bringing in, there's some tension as we move through this deconstruction. There's tension as we're moving through and moving out of the old order into the new order and the frequency. Now, where Venus is now, she's in Virgo. She is in the sign of the Virgin. She's in the sign of wanting to be of service. It is also the health sign on how you're how well you're taking care of yourself. This is a place where the star Regulus is, and the star Regulus moved into Virgo in 2012. Now, 2012 was a very substantial year. It was the Venus eclipse. Venus eclipsed the sun in June, and the door opened wider, and a new reality started to come in. And then the end of the Mayan calendar was in December of 2012. So that transitioning, there was so many transitioning and alignments coming in. And there was the galactic center at the solstice too of this convergence that happened also, which happens every 26,000 years. So there was this energy of movement, and this energy of movement's been happening for a long time. Donovel of Melchizedek wrote a book called The Flower Essence, and he talks about the Kundalini of the earth changing, where the Kundalini is moving, after 26,000 years, where the Kundalini was up in going up through Egypt and India and through that alignment and the pyramids to where it's moved now, and the alignment is going up through through Peru and the mountains and going all the way up through to the Rockies. So we have this divine feminine energy that's coming in, and this is where many indigenous nations called it I'm trying to think of the name. Called it the rise of the female nation. So there's a rise of the female energy. Hence, what we are seeing now within our society and what we are witnessing is a transgender, where people are transgendering. So men as women and women as men. So we see this fluctuation that's coming into our world, and in there, what I'm seeing, and especially as I'm going into the sacred and as I'm going into this divine feminine, is that sometimes it gets lost. That divine feminine, that essence gets lost. And where the trueness of what the feminine goddess is, because Venus is identifying as a woman. And I don't even like to say is a woman. She's the full flesh. She was born from the ocean. She comes out of this energy into this beautiful sexual being of beauty and kindness. And she wants to bring in the wisdom, and as a key to open up the new age, and the new age of that beauty and wisdom, and not to dismiss that of the feminine. And the feminine energy, not only which is in all of us, but even the divine feminine, especially that's within women themselves, to lose it, because there's been such a long 26,000 years of time that has, for us to be able to step into this rise of the female nation, rise of this energy, and the sacredness of it, and the sacredness of what it is to be within the flow of the moon, to be in the flow of the energies of Venus in the sky, of embracing the sacredness of that within ourselves. And there's a part of us as women with a uterus who have an essence of the birthing. And we're not saying that nobody else can understand that, but to have the flow of the blood, The flow of the blood is this essence of that, of part of the divine feminine, the essence of having a moon cycle and embracing this part of ourselves is a part of our beauty and a part of this web of creation, because it is within that shedding, we are shedding, and within women shedding each month of that power, because usually, you know, throughout many tribes, throughout many times throughout history, women, as they are having their cycle, are seen as power. There is a divine power within that for women. And when we are in that divine power, it doesn't matter. You could be transgender, you could be whatever, or how identify whatever. There is an essence of that power that they will never get, or they will never be able to tap into it. They might be able to feel it, but there's a tapping into that essence of that divineness, of that purity, of that all-encompassing of the womb. And this is coming into, and where we are moving into, a deepness of the embodiment of the deep feminine, and walking the path of the hearts as we move deeper into this new age, into this new time. Now, yes, will this trigger a lot of people? Yeah. But there is parts of the divine feminine or the divine masculine. I can feel part of it. I could feel part of that passion or that movement. But there is this essence, and I'm talking about essence of that spark, of that, who that masculine is, and born of that essence. And this is what we don't want to lose. Yes, we want to create a world, you know, of bringing in many different people together, humanities, but we cannot lose our essence of that. And that's not with judgment, but it is coming into that creation, that spirit of connecting and allowing, because within that divine feminine and masculine allows that creation of all, allows for all to come into the embodiment of that, of humanity. And as we are stepping into this spirit, are remembering and connecting across the globe as the watersheds, moments, and where timelines are splitting. And with those timelines that are splitting, and this dystopic future, is that there is a dominant or dominator energy or culture continues to embodied by technology to assault nature and organic life. So there is this energy that wants to disassemble what nature has created, to disassemble what has been brought forth. And how that is done, it is being done in many different ways. And some of the ways I don't want to say at this time, well, because we kind of know, but how you want to identify with that. But there is this disembodiment that wants to, and what they're showing me is to segregate, but segregating the body into different pieces, and ignoring the wholeness of the truth and the organic pieces of our nature. And this energy also comes in with a utopia of possibilities, with a natural design of life. So bringing in this activating organic technology from within. So there is a part that can come from within that can bring the changes, but then there's outside of these timelines that are bringing in dysfunction and bringing in separation, segmenting people from one another. And it's a fine line. It is a fine line that we walk. And this moon in Aquarius is an awakening. This moon that's coming in that is awakening us to this Venus represents also, and same with the moon, the sacred feminine energy. This is where the greater cycle represents the blueprint of the 3D reality, along with the liberation into the multidimensional nature. And Venus meets the sun in a divine union aligned with her closest point with the earth. So she does this once every 19 months and transmits a fresh invitation so that we can learn about the feminine mysteries, about life and death. Now, as Venus moves, the reason why the ancestors followed Venus is that you can follow her and you know exactly where she's going to be by a degree. And she makes a 5-pointed star in the sky. She creates that 5-pointed star in the sky. And she comes into these points that are close to the earth once every 19 months, transmits a fresh invitation to learn about the feminine mysteries in life and death. She'll be doing this again this year in Capricorn as she comes in, because then she'll be retrograding. So when planets are close to the earth and they have a closer proximity to the earth within their orbital rotation, what happens is that they go retrograde. It looks like the earth is speeding up past them, the optical illusion. So we're going to be seeing that alignment, but we're inviting us to go deeper within and discover the secrets of the resurrection from the essence that never dies. And that divine feminine and the divine masculine, as much as it's being disrupted and recreated in some way, the truth and the essence of it can't be destroyed. And this is where we are, coming into this energy at this time. I know it's a lot, but it's a lot that I've been trying to decipher and go through with so many crazy information and things that have been coming across my feed. And, but anyways, this Venus is currently in her evening star phase, and she entered Virgo and riding very close to the fixed star Regulus, and the brightest star of the Lion constellation. Regulus is the heart. And Venus is visible in the west before sunset and sets with the sparkles and flash after the night has come. Once dark, Regulus is visible beside her. We can sync with her cycle to connect with the feminine essence and align with this current evolutionary energies. And this moon is helping us to come into this connection, not only with that of the goddess of the night, the moon, but also that of the essence of the Venus, and coming into this essence of allowing ourselves to shine in our trueness without apology, and allowing us to be able to let the masculine to shine within his power. And the one thing about the feminine is, I'm just pulling out my notes here that I wrote. I have notes that I was downloading this morning. And the feminine brings in the creativity. The feminine brings in life and truth and transformation, and transforms that to growth and nourishment through the heart center. The divine masculine brings in the passion and the knowledge and the protection, and he brings it through the crown. So in comes the energy through the crown, and it has to be transformed. And that transformation comes in through the heart in order for it to flow to the rest of our bodies. This is a essence of who we are. And as the sun, our star, represented the creator, it moves, it's in Leo, it's going across this fixed sign, the sign that rules or has guardianship over. This is also a celebration of the feast day of Mary Magdalene. And she was the disciple of the disciples of Jesus, and also the wife of Jesus. And she comes in, and where she wants us to remember our essence and our divinity as women, and never to deny the truth of who we are as women, because we've had to endure so much as women. And in that, we must embrace that of our cycles, that of our birthing, and to love all parts of ourselves, the physical and non-physical. And even when we are taken through the mud and smeared, as she was, and where the church, in attempt to diminish her mastery, this is to bring in her blossoming and devotion to the archetype of human women, embodying the divine codes and this precious time. So this is a very sacred time for us as women within this full moon. The zodiac flow, the consciousness of the Virgo, devotes to the inner work of refining oneself, increasing accuracy, and engaging in the purification at all levels to be ready to meet the sacred others. And that is in Libra. So we are coming into this energy, not only with the Aquarius full moon, but we're coming into this essence with that of stepping into and refining ourselves underneath the shimmers of this illumination of this moon, coming in and allowing ourselves to come into our radical responsibility and produce our true sovereignty, and stepping into our true sovereignty. So the perfection can be twisted, and Virgos get a bad rap at times for this, but yet the Buddhist path considers the most profound and direct path of enlightenment is called the Great Perfection, and means to wake practitioners up to their inherent purity and the art of perfecting. And this feels amazing. This is us stepping into this state and allowing it, and coming into the relaxation and openness, and to this allowing for this to be cultivated and creating. Add the tension and pressure and the rife in the dominator culture, the shadow side of the Virgo manifests new models of devotions are arising. So we are in a time of chaos and disarray, and so much is dismantling. And much of that dismantling also is that of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And we must come into our inherent purity of who we are, our essence, and bringing in that energy of the Virgo, because the Virgo is the woman carrying the wheat, the shafts of wheat, the archetype of the maiden or the virgin. The original meaning of the virgin was whole unto oneself. Whole, written as WHOL, whole unto oneself, does not necessarily correlate with a young girl, but to a spiritual woman who is not reliant on a man or anyone to become an actualized being. The Virgo devotes herself to selfishness, purity of heart, often in service of the mysteries of God, the goddess, source, and in times before agriculture. So the virgin maiden holding these jewels, the shaft of the wheat. This is the jewel. This is a pointing of the power of the divinity, the power of the divine feminine, and to create, and this power of the woman's womb to create life. And the secret of bringing forth a special being through immaculate conception. Hence, that's where you get the immaculate conception, because Virgo is actually opposite Pisces. Pisces is the sign of the fish, is sign of that of the divine, of the Christ consciousness. And across from the Christ consciousness is that divine feminine, the immaculate, that of the Virgin, which is the woman who stands within her own spiritual self and her devotion to God and the goddess. This is where we are. We are in this immaculate conception of bringing in our truth, bringing in our substance. And the Vestal virgins of ancient Greece, the priestesses trained in the tantric arts and reviewed a powerful healers in the culture. The virgin is the sense was not about sex, but about a path of devotion, independence from the reliance of the husband for safety, stability, and value. Historically, women marriage as an institution has been a major tool to control or oppress women, true states which threaten the state. The major asteroid of Vesta is connected to Virgo and a co-ruler along with Mercury. So Venus in Virgo invites us to embody the whole holy in the ordinary, to tend to care for the inner ecosystems and connect the richness of the outer ecosystems of nature. The archetype connected to the wise woman, hearts, healers, witches, priestesses, midwives, and crones, the ones who were hunted through history and burned during the Inquisition. Regulus, the heart of the lion, moved into the sign of the Virgo in 2012 after being in Leo since 148 BC. Fixed stars move slowly. They move a degree every 72 years. And because of this precession, will change signs every 2,160 years. Regulus is one of the royal stars of Persia, considered the guardian of the heavens, represent the cardinal direction, and the cross-quarter holy days that fall during the halfway point between the equinox and the solstice. So in the modern Celtic map, Lammas is celebrated in Leo. Samhain is in Scorpio, the Embolic in Aquarius, and the Beltane in Taurus. Regulus is the watcher of the north. It's considered to be the hot and strong in nature and power and success. The royal star has been riding through the fiery Leo for 2,000 plus years, and then shifts into Virgo, the sign of the priestess, the year before Venus crosses and faces the sun and activates the return of the sacred feminine principles, which ushers in this new age. And that I find powerful and interesting with this. And Venus in Virgo near Regulus invokes the Virgin Queen, holding the jewel, which is to teach us to go out and open our hearts in her light and receive, have us stand in our sovereignty, in our purity, in our truth, and in our essence. And she's inviting us to connect with the precision and the preciseness and awakening our DNA, our truth, and remembering our creative power so that we can hold the frequencies for an incredible future. So we are synchronizing and syncing and within the Venus, and that can amplify the energies. Venus is currently opposed Jupiter, retrograde in Pisces, expanding the watery consciousness that connects us to the mysteries. Yet she asks us not to be numbed within these waters. Venus is setting in the west and Jupiter in the east, the two benevolent planets in harmonious polarity. Watch them both if you can, the view, and experience the opposition. So when we will be seeing as Venus sets in the west, just before sunrise, Jupiter is rising. So we're seeing that it's just as one, and they're just totally opposite. You can see them as they go opposite. So we're synchronizing or syncing with the Venus elegant assistance us to shed the identity and alignment of our essence. And if you wish to experience this, notice the full moon energies without feeding them. This is why I'm doing the full moon dance. This is why I'm coming into the spiritual dance, because the spiritual dance, in essence, when the women come together and dance, is power. We're coming into a flow. There's no steps, there's no regulations on how you are to move, but it is coming for allowing us to come into and just noticing our bodies, just noticing our essence and our flow, allowing us to be able to honor where we are and honor that of who we are. So I invite you to join me this evening, and I will send you, want to join me, I'll send you a link. If you're able to send me, there's a $10 exchange, but this is a gathering. This is what I find is the truth and the essence of where we need to bring in these newness and allow for us to move in the rotation of the divine feminine. And this is a portal time that we're coming into. And even on Sunday's the day out of time in the Mayan galactic year, the gap between the old calendar and the new one, which begins on July 26th, and that's within the Mayan calendar. And this is a portal between time, a day of honoring the liminal nature of reality and focusing on the secular instead of the linear time. So this was a time of free flowing. We are entering into a time of inner guidance, and it is asked for to move within this and allowing ourselves to move. There's so much that's coming up for portals that are opening for us and that for us to move towards. There's the Lion's Gate 8-8. Sirius, our brightest star, has been rising with the sun from the end of May until the mid-August. So it's invisible for us, for us to see, but this is an opening. This is an energetic portal that's opening. Sirius is also called the dog star and is constellation of the canine major. So it's the brightest star linked with Isis and considered the giver of life. Hence, I mean, she is the one who recreated her husband and gathered him, right? And coming into this gathering, coming into this sacred feminine during turbulent times is one of power. It is when women gather, and we can be the beautiful thing about the internet now. You could be anywhere in the world, and we can gather and we can move and we can allow for that flow to happen and come into this synchronizing energy with Venus and aligning us to our solar feminine and embodying our deepest truths. And that's where we are coming into. And the heroine journey of Venus into the depths. This is where she will be into the depths of the underworld from February to early May of this year. She went in and finding the courage to bring the wisdom to the world. So we're finding that with her going into the underworld from February to May, she was bringing up the energy, bringing up this information that needed to be said. And if you notice, there's so much that is being unearthed at this time for us to heal, and in healing those ancestral lineages and also stepping into our divinity of our essence of the trueness of the divine feminine, which is not going with this energy. When we work with the beautiful, when we work with the energies of the planets, they let us know what's going on. They let us know, okay, this is why I'm feeling so frustrated. This is why I feel a little bit angry today. They open us up for us to be able to go within the flow and honor where we are and honor our feelings. There is much to be said to all of this and the energies that are coming in, and it is bringing us a link in us, because the divine feminine or the feminine energy is the giver of life. We have the masculine that comes in to help to formulate this birthing of our new consciousness within this world. And that's what we are unfolding and doing at this time. Whew. Have to say that's a lot. That is a lot. And this isn't where I find some, so much is being taken apart within our world. So much is being taken apart where it's time for us to embrace who we are and fully. And many have come upon this journey in this world, and many are taking a journey in this world that it seems hard for them to embrace the truth of who they are. And we are wanting to embrace the truth and the essence of who we are, and not to neutralize it. We can't neutralize. You can't neutralize the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It is embracing it, and embracing it in its essence. And that, I find, is the honesty. There's a lot that's happening in this world that I have issues with, or I have trouble working with and trying to figure it out. But we must keep an open discussion with this. We must keep an open discussion in not being shamed because we don't understand, but don't neutralize it. And that's the message I'm getting. There's so much in this world that wants to neutralize it. They want it to, no, I am neither this nor that. You're not embracing either. And this is where we're coming in to embrace it. Embrace who we are, that essence of human. And not because there's much coming in that wants to take away the humanity of who you are and bring you into that drone. And I feel, especially with this Venus energy, and it is the feast day of Mary Magdalene, bringing in this energy of this divine wisdom of the feminine to embrace it, to embrace that divinity of the feminine within you, and allow for yourself to shine. And I know very strong masculine men who are what you would call a man's man, who will fix the car and get out there and do this and do that. But then they have this energy or this softness that will sit there and play with their children and be there and have that essence that brings in that loving and caring piece to them. And aren't afraid to cry, or not afraid to embrace that part of them and that truth. And that's the same with women. There's women out there, yes, you have that strong energy of fierceness, but you also have to remember that feminine. Sometimes you got to let the divine masculine to be the masculine and the divine feminine to be the feminine. Neither one is weak, and neither one is stronger than the other. And I'm not talking about physical strength. This is about that balance between the two and the harmony between the two. When you are born, oh boy, they're pushing me onto a fine line here. When you are born as a woman, there's an essence of you. And yes, throughout time, and maybe you change to become the man, transgender, but there's still that essence of the feminine. As much as you want to push it away, it's still there. You can take away the uterus, you can do whatever, but there's that essence that is there. It is unseen. Same with the masculine. There's still an essence of the masculine that is there. You could take it away. You could do whatever, shove your penis up, have it as a vagina. I don't give a shit. But there's that essence of that divine feminine that you were born in with. That is what the purity of it. It's not saying that you can't do whatever, but I'm talking about the essence of it. And that's what we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose that essence. And push away, or segregate. And that's what they're showing me with the bodies, taking pieces off here, there, and segregating it all up and dismantling it. So it's unrecognizable. And this is where, in honoring our energy and honoring our flow and coming into this of the divine feminine and is important for us at this time. And we are setting in, we're moving into a new history, a new part where understanding what that divine feminine is. And it's a learning process. Remember, it took over 2,000 years for to go through Leo, and just think, that 2,000 years, look at what we were going through, through that time. Interesting. So we're going through all of that and changing into that of the Virgo. And then it's going to be another 2,100 years before it gets into the Libra. So we can see the changes and transformation. I mean, Jesus chose Mary Magdalene to come and be his disciple, to be his significant other, but empowering her to be at his side, not to push her, forward or have her follow backwards, but to have her be at his side. And his mother, the one who was educated, stepping into being the virgin. Not saying like how you think virgin is. So the Virgin Queen. So step into your power today. Step into that of your own divinity and your essence of your heart. Come from your crown, because the essence of the energy from the head to the crown, and from the crown to the heart, from the heart to the crown, is very important. So have a blessed day. And Kathy, I'll put you down. I'll send you right away. I'll send you the link. So anybody else who wishes to join, please get a hold of me, and let's come on into this collective of energy and movement. So have a blessed day. Thank you for joining me, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.